Why?
Just curious.
Just a couple of them.
Stacy and all this.
Wonder what's up. At some point,
we're on?
I've met with all of them knocking doors.
Not the people. We understand. That's your guys' other house.
In Aetna? Shit, did I have knock doors in Aetna for
The
people?
people right here in the front.
I used to live in Aetna, right? I guess we're.
I don't know what's going on.
Battery to time all these 3 minutes.
Yeah, so we haven't made the agenda.
Teresa, are we good to go? I want to call to order the regular council meeting for Tuesday, September the 6th, 2022. Teresa, call the roll. Call the roll. I've done that. Roll call.
Mayor Chip Dutcher.
Here.
Marvin Block.
Here.
Ryan Green.
Here.
Doug Lehner.
Here.
Sharon Hendren.
Here.
John Barnard.
Here.
John Merriman.
Here.
Councilwoman Hendren, you want to lead us in
Bow-
invocation?
Bow our heads in prayer. God, we come before you with gratitude. We thank you for being a God of love. I thank you for my beloved Johnstown, and I'm very blessed to be living here. I pray for all leaders in the city, mayor, city council, police, and all others in authority. Let your light shine throughout our neighborhoods, our schools, businesses, and church. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item is action on minutes for the August 16th meeting. They were distributed to the council members. Are there any additions or corrections?
I have a correction on page 7, under F, Park and Rec. There was a couple comments not made, or was made, I wouldn't put in here, Teresa. John made the statement that they were flag lots. If they were put up for sale, it'd be a long time before they sold, a long, long time.
I think she has that down there, Marvin, if you read, and it wasn't, that was, if you actually go back and
Could
listen
you
to
let me
the
finish,
tape.
please?
Well, I'm just gonna tell you, if you listen to the tape,
I did listen to the tape.
that's not exactly what it said, so if you're gonna say it, state it good.
Well, you want to pull the tape up, Teresa?
I mean, I can, but you want to do that now?
Well, I'll just, won't vote for them. Make any difference, I know what it was said on the thing, it was said about the zoning too, that I was called a liar about, and it was mentioned that I had a hard time to getting it through zoning.
Well,
That's on the tape, and it's at 5509 on the tape.
if you don't want to vote for him tonight, I can take another listen
I would appreciate it if you would.
and then.
You want to bring them back next week?
Next week.
Or
next
2 weeks.
meeting. Sure.
Thank you.
Somebody want to make a motion to table?
I make a motion to table it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Teresa, will call the roll.
John Barnard.
No.
John Merriman.
No.
Ryan Green.
No.
Marvin Block.
Yes.
Mayor Dutcher.
No.
Doug Lehner.
No.
Sharon Hendren.
No.
Okay, so we go back and do another, well, we already have, I think I need a new motion now.
Make a motion, we accept the minutes as they are stated.
I'll second.
Is there a second? Moved and seconded. Teresa, you want to call the roll?
John Merriman.
Yes.
Ryan Green.
Yes.
Marvin Block.
Abstain.
Mayor Dutcher.
Yes.
Doug Lehner.
Yes.
Sharon Hendren.
Yes.
John Barnard.
Yes.
Okay, next on the agenda are citizen comments on matters not on the agenda. My most favorite part of these meetings. We're going to limit the comments to 3 minutes only. And so who wants to go first?
Connie does.
Connie, yep. Just please state your name and your address. And
My name is Connie Ryan. I live at 259 Edwards Road here in Johnstown. Our family, there's 5 of us here this evening. We are representing our relatives of the Longwell Miles property, and we spoke last meeting, and it's crunch time for us. 171 acres, and a trust fund is being deeded to Licking County Parks, and the will specifically states that it is to go to the village of Johnstown, Liberty Township, and surrounding communities. And this was a will by our cousin, which was General Perry L. Miles. And the Longwell property is out on 62, between 62 and Duncan Lane. No, Nichols Lane, thank you. Nichols Lane. It's 171 acres, and right now, there's 850,000 in the trust fund. So the trustee is going to, next Tuesday, deed it over. If the petition goes through, we'll be deeding it over to Licking County Parks. As family members, we are very upset that our cousin's will has not been honored, and I don't know if we're allowed to do this or not, but we've been going around town, and we have over 150 signatures, and we would like more. And since there's a large group here, if you support this effort, we have paper back there to sign. If we're not allowed to, we'll go out in the parking lot. I don't know if that's allowed to, but anyway, we just wanted to bring this to the attention of council again. If council would like to support us, we would like your signatures also. We have gone before the school board who supports us. We've gone to many organizations in town, and they support us also. So, the land, oh, thank you. I said, anybody else want to talk? No. The land is supposed to be given to the village for religious, educational, and recreation good to the benefits of the village of Johnstown. They want educational study, environmental picnics, camping, recreation area. The school is landlocked right now, so it'd be nice to have some green space with Intel coming. We feel like we're being kind of swarmed on, so it'd be nice to have green space out there and more soccer fields, like football, picnic tables, eventually walking trails. Thank you very much.
thank you, Connie.
Thanks.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Matt O'Hearn. I live at 236 Weeping Willow Run Drive. Just want to bring to your attention a parking issue in our neighborhood. This is back in Leafydale. To my knowledge, our street's the only one back in Leafydale that's set up this way, where our parking is also the same side as our fire hydrants. So that's severely limiting our parking. And then what that does is, for example, in front of my house, this is the common seb throughout my entire block, is that there's the fire hydrant in front of my house, which you have to be 10 feet back from that fire hydrant. People are doing that when they're not. The police, they are ticketing them. However, what's happening then is, as they move that 10 feet back, then they're blocking mailboxes. So my simple proposal, I'm gonna be real brief here, is just simply to move the parking to the other side of the road where there is more available parking, where it's not so limited to block fire hydrants and mailboxes on my side of the road. That's it.
It was Weeping.
Weeping Willow, Run Drive. And to my knowledge, that's the only one back there that's set up that way. I think that was a mistake in probably the way it was developed, I think, but it'd make it a lot easier to move that across the street.
I think it might be best to put that on the safety service
That's right.
at the next meeting. So if Teresa, if you could get that on the agenda, we appreciate that.
Take a look at it.
That's it for me. Thanks.
Thank you.
Next.
Hi, my name is Jess Anderson. My address is 1703 Deeds Road in Granville. Am I right about that? My husband and I owned Ray Ray's Hog Pit barbecue food truck. And we are permitted to operate on Terry Henson's property on 670 Coshocton Road. I am simply asking, we are only legally allowed to operate 3 days in a row. I'm asking that we can have a fourth day so that we can pay our employees a livable wage. That extra 8 hours that will be open gets them closer to 40 hours a week. And that's all I have.
Look at that.
And it'd be the zoning, wouldn't it, right?
That's a good question.
The zoning's what controls it. Zoning's what controls it.
Zoning doesn't allow.
Zoning, yeah.
It's a zoning
Take a
issue,
look at
it's
it.
not a,
I'll let you bring it up again.
Well, we have a food truck
We have the food truck
Regulation.
but that's not.
which
that's
says
not
3
what
days.
they're-
I don't know that there's
Excuse me.
a variance or
Right.
way to extend that.
I
That's
don't think there is in zoning.
No, go ahead. Any additional information?
Yes, so we are currently operating Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're simply asking for Thursday, noon to 8 p.m. It was brought to our attention that we couldn't apply for a variance because it's under business.
I don't think there's a
zoning.
guideline in there in that section. Is there, Sean?
It's technically not under planning and zoning. It's under.
Business regulations.
Business regulations, so the same opportunities that would be afforded through the zoning code, which would be a variance. We don't have a variance set up for business regulation, it just doesn't exist.
Right.
The other thing that we were looking at as well is interpretation of the code, and I can pull up the email and give you further information, that it would be 3 days in a rolling calendar, 30-day period, so really it's just 3 days per month. And like I said, there's really not an opportunity for a variance. As they do in the zoning code, this is administrative business regulation, so they just don't have the same, they don't play in the same arena.
Thank you.
try to figure something out.
Council can change that.
Next.
Hello, I'm Judy Haroon. I reside at 330 Fondrius Road. I'm here representing myself as well as the other community members who have risen to the occasion and came out making their voices heard demanding change. As I stand before you tonight, I must admit I find it quite disturbing that Mr. Block is still sitting up here. Literally right in front of our eyes, we are continuing to bear witness to this good old boy ideology. I understand that technically he's still allowed to sit on council until those the votes are certified. However, that's not what matters here. You all could have done the right thing and perhaps maybe suspended him from being here, considering the amount of chaos, mayhem, and destruction to both our local government and community most recently caused by how he campaigned for himself, which was nothing more than a personal tax aimed mostly at Dana Stephan and Abe Haroon. Instead, once again, he receives no repercussions for his actions. We the people should be what matters, but once again, we take a backseat to your blind allegiance to one another. In addition, time and time again, nearly all of you have failed, including Jack. The only one that has attempted to do the right thing is Mr. Barnard. He's not a part of this good old boys club, and you know what? That's okay, because he has the support of hundreds of the community members that came out who supported the recall. The point I'm making by all of this is that you have showed us repeatedly that you are incapable of governing yourselves. In fact, when faced with moral and ethical dilemmas on numerous occasions, your approach is to turn a blind eye and continue to not waver in your allegiance to one another and reward one another for failure. This good old boy ideology will not be tolerated and needs to stop tonight. Therefore, as a community, we are demanding that the city of Johnstown develop a code of conduct for its elected officials. No employee of Johnstown nor any of our private citizens should ever be subjected to this type of abusive, immoral, and ethical behavior. This way, you all be completely accountable for your actions and behavior and know what is expected of you. If you choose to violate those standards, then your feet can be held to the fire and be formally disciplined as necessary. I'm going to move on to Sharon. Sharon?
Excuse me, your 3 minutes are up.
You have conducted yourself in a manner not becoming of a council member.
Ma'am,
by your
you're
actions on
in
social media
violation of
that were meant to damage the
Section
reputation.
509.04 of the Ohio Revised Code.
Codified ordinance.
So you're telling me
Codified
that he actually was never stopped from
Ma'am.
giving rebuttals
Ma'am,
beyond 3 minutes, but I'm a citizen
remove her,
of this
please?
town?
can we have her removed?
You want him to remove me?
Yes,
3 minutes or
your 3 minutes are up.
You have
This is-
shown that you cannot uphold your oath of office to remain fair and impartial. You have acted both immorally and unethically. Your allegiance to Marvin far outweighed your duty to protect its members of this community. Lastly, it is apparent that you lack the skill set to make sound and rational decisions or are able to serve the people with empathy and compassion. I'm not going. We are asking for you to do the right thing every time. Oh, am I?
Yes, you need to go.
I'm not going.
Ma'am,
I'm not going.
If you would please step out of the room.
I'm not
I need you to
going.
step out of the room.
I'm not
Mrs.
going.
Haroon,
I demand that Sharon Hendred resign by no later than Friday, September
I
9th.
need you to step outside.
If you choose not to resign, then there is a high probability you are going to be on that petition for recall in the near future.
Mrs. Haroon, I need you to leave, please. Let's go.
No,
Mrs. Haroon,
no,
I need you to go.
no. People have often asked why you were not part of the recall and stated and asked why your name was not on that recall.
Please.
Very disappointed in both of you. I'm very disappointed in you guys. Very disappointed.
Next.
Dana Steffen, CPA, 156 Liberty Ridge Court, formerly Johnstown Finance Director from 2014 to 2022. To say this has been the most challenging and perhaps the worst year of my life, and that is 100% attributable to Marvin Block. This began with a humble request for a raise in December. To this date, not one of you, 5 council members, have ever acknowledged this request. And I, of course, exclude Councilman Barnard and Merriman as they were not on council at the time. When I submitted an HR complaint on Marvin and interim CM Liggett in February, not one of you council members had the decency to reach out and ask to sit down with me and to hear my side of the story. No one has even tried to hear my side. I've been blamed for countless things, including hiding from council the knowledge about a drone, giving unauthorized raises to police officers, quote, demanding, unquote, $15,000 more a year to come back to work, attempting to create a smokescreen to overshadow my own, quote, poor performance, unquote, and exceeding my authority on payroll matters for the benefit of the police department. All of these I have been accused of, and all of these are untrue. Marvin, you could have taken the high road like Chip and campaigned not to be recalled by stating the good things that you've done for the city, but instead, you chose to spread lies about me and my husband. This letter is full of lies. And I've come to learn that it has been circulated around town by you and your wife. This is an obvious attempt to ruin our professional careers and reputations, only to cover up your mistakes. Marvin, 77% of the voters want you out of this office. This embarrassing landslide vote to recall could have gone unknown and saved you and your family much stress and hardship. You had the opportunity in February to apologize and resign in a dignified manner. Instead, there you sit, and it's despicable. The fact that the rest of council is letting you sit there and still have a voice and potentially enter executive session later tonight until the special election is certified is offensive and equivalent to the slap in the face to all the residents of Johnstown. Sharon Hendren, I also ask for your resignation. Your loyalty to Marvin's lies and misinformation have not gone unnoticed. I have no trust in your ability to keep your oath of office, to be impartial. I implore you to
Your 3 minutes
resign
are up.
to save yourself any future embarrassment. One last thing, please. I had planned to retire from the city of Johnstown. I was devoted to this community. Unfortunately, the circumstances during the first half of this year have forced me to go a different direction. I have no reservations publicly stating that the citizens of Johnstown have been deprived of 2 great assets by losing myself and Abe to other cities. Marvin, we still await your apology. Thank you for your time.
Next.
Abe Haroon, 330 Fondrias. I'm the former chief of Johnstown. Constitution starts with we the people. We the people last Tuesday stood up and sent a message, a very powerful message. We fired the mayor and the president and council. The president lost by more than 70%, and the mayor wasn't far behind. The citizens in the community see your failure. Every one of you should look in the mirror and you should utter, I am failing. If you haven't, then you have no business sitting up there. As I stand before you today, you've lost every director that you've had within this municipality within the last 8 months. You've lost a city manager, a service director, a police chief, a finance director, an economic director. 2 council members have resigned, and 2 more were disgracefully removed resoundingly by us, the people. You have nothing left. Who's running this city? Our government, the citizens' government, has collapsed. You have outsiders doing our work. Our manager, Jack, has failed us. A catastrophic failure. You gave him a pay raise, and you prolonged his benefits in an off-site meeting that was not even held in this city on a night that wasn't even a regularly held scheduled night. And it was done in the shadow of a recall. And I promise you this, we the people are glued to the choice that you're going to make about it. You should table it. And these 2 should not be in that executive session. They shouldn't make any choices tonight. We the people are tired of no transparency, backdooring, behind the back phone calls, and closed door meeting. We fear your poor choices. We have time to heal. You have time to make sound moral choices. You have the time to right the wrong. It starts with including us, the people, in your decisions. We are in charge. We set the tone. You listen to us. If you don't, you'll be removed.
Chief, you're finished. 3 minutes is up.
Teresa, is time up? No, I'm sorry. I've got him at 2:03.
3 minutes?
Yes.
Thank you. Unbelievable.
Your watch is fast. I'm watching it, I am. Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you. We will be involved with the new selection of the council members. While the majority vote prevails, know that the choice will be ours. Be creative, do surveys, do bios, submit cover letters, include our panel interviews, includes us. We also want to be behind the selection of the mayor. It's probably personal recommendation that Mr. Barnhart be selected. He's the only person that had the courage to stand up. While he may feel like he's on an island, he's not. He has the backing of 77% of us. The 4 of you should feel like you're on the island. Sharon, you need to resign. I've witnessed you scoff at people under oath, sleep during open meetings, slump in that chair, and then your horrendous, embarrassing comments on social media.
Now we're at 3 minutes.
That you're incapable of import. And last,
Abe, you're done.
this special election cost the citizens of this community $15,000. Watchdog and Chip, congratulations. I want you to know that you cost every man, woman, child in this community $2.50. Good riddance to you.
Next. Anybody else? If not, we're going to move on. Okay, we'll move on. Next up are committee reports. Planning and zoning met on August 23rd. It next meets on the 13th of September. Do you have anything?
Yes, we had some applications, and we'll be meeting at the next time.
Okay. Any questions for Ryan? Okay. Design Review Board next meets on the 13th of September. Safety and Service next meets on the 20th of September. Finance met this evening. Donnie, you want to?
Yes, we have 2 items that we were bringing to council tonight. The first one doesn't require a vote. We just want to make you knowledgeable that Jack has received a quote so far. He's waiting on the second one to do the office or do the space for the police officers. It will be under $10,000 or $10,000 or under, which is under his authority to do. The most expensive things in there are the fireproof doors, which we didn't anticipate, and they're about $1,000 each. There's 3 of them needed. So that, I just want to make you aware of that. The second item that we're asking for your a motion and a vote is the MuniLink utility software. There was a demo provided last week to the city manager, to Teresa, to Laura, and to Sean. It was about an hour and a half to 2 hour presentation. All 4 staff members said it was it's a good piece of software. Laura believes it's going to cut her time in half, how much time she needs for utility billing. There's a lot of good features on it, and it's going to take 4 to 8 months for it to get put in place. So we're wanting to move on this soon so that hopefully we can put it in place with UAN when it comes on September 1st. It amounts to about 40 cents an account. We have 2,000 accounts, so it's about $795 a month, which equals $9,500 a year. If you couple that with the UAN software, which was, I believe, $4,000, this is still under the price of the SSI yearly fee that we pay of approximately $16,000, $17,000. So it would be a savings. The software is cloud-based. They can do it if a pandemic happened again, they could do it from home. It's just very easy to use, and there's many features that our staff will be able to use in the future. Does anyone have any questions on that software?
You want to make a motion to?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we move forward with MuniLink, that we go ahead with the agreement. There is a $10,000 upfront cost to get everything transitioned. Jack said that can be broken between sewer and water.
Split equal.
Split.
I'll second.
It's been moved in second. Discussion amongst council members. Hearing none. Teresa, you want to call the roll?
Ryan Green,
Yes.
Marvin Block,
Abstain.
Mayor Dutcher,
Yes.
Doug Lehner,
Yes.
Sharon Hendren.
Yes.
John Barnard,
Yes.
Tom Merriman.
Yes.
Okay, it's approved. Donna, you have a?
And no, sir, that was all we had. We had presentations tonight from Flock Safety that we're going to hopefully push forward with and be able to present to council more when we get some more numbers on them. But it's a license plate reading software or license plate reading cameras that would help the police out within the city. Anyone with a felony warrant or anything coming through the city, their license plate would be caught right away. And we also had a presentation from Integrity, which is our financial team right now. And we cleared up a lot of things. I think we're on a good plate moving forward. So, and that's all I have.
Any questions for Donnie? Okay, we'll move on. Economic Development did not meet last Friday. It will meet on the 7th of October. Park and Rec met on the 20th of September. Sharon?
Yes, we discussed the Miles Estate, which I'm very much for that. I hope it works out. We discussed the amphitheater and the splash park. We are still working forward on that.
Questions for Sharon? Okay, the Tree Commission met on August 23rd. Its next meeting on October 25th. Marvin, was there any?
No, I didn't have anything to report on it.
All right. Events Committee. Next meeting is to be determined, as is the school liaison. We're going to move on to director reports. Jack, you want to do the service department?
Yes, I'll jump into that. First, we're going to talk about the street department, and I'll move through this briefly. One item we've been tracking is curb repair. We've got the group fixing the broken out curbs. There's 100 foot of curb repaired on Tyler Station. Also, you noticed with the new road on Edwards Road, we did a bunch of berm cutting in there so the water can run away from the road instead of be trapped next to the edge of the road and cause it to soften and soak. So the guys are out into that. You'll see a picture later on here where they have done a basin repair in at Woodgate. And the new mulch for Hannes Park, we were low on the required amount of mulch in there, has been in and installed. I'm going to move quickly on to the water report. As of August 31st, we produced over 21 million gallons, which again is another record month, not a record in the highest, but for our month of August, it is a high month. You can see on the chart that we are over the last 3 years. The only other thing there I want to bring up is I had a meeting with Jacobs Engineer and Egan to discuss the wellfield study that we talked about. So that project's going to get ready to start here in September. We're going to put some monitoring wells down and do a pump test. Terry Nichols has done a good job staying in contact with the Youth League, and we've got dates that we're going to work on that together so we cannot conflict them while we're doing our work. However, I hope the rain works with us on that. So now, again, if you want to take a quick look at the last page, this is on the water. You can see the blue line, which is this year where our production rates are at, which indicates we need to get that new water plant built and the well study done. Jumping into the sewer report, again, the plant is operating well. You can see we're anywhere from 98 to 99% efficient, removing byproducts in the wastewater before it goes to the stream. Also, you have a picture here on a new chlorination system. Let me give you a quick explanation of this. As the houses were built down on Buena Vista and Benedict, the new houses down there, which had sat empty for years, as the lift station pumps from up at Leafydale, there was gas being released down there, and we had odor control problems. So we've got a two-phase attack here. We are adding chlorine currently, but peroxide can be fed through this to try to remove the odor that would be coming up out of those manholes. We're also working with our partners down at New Day. They're putting one of these systems in. Our crew showed them so they can actually start adding it up at their lift station up by their process. So hopefully this will allow us to remove those gas and odors so it won't be a problem for the new homeowners down there. Also, just something that, of course, I see a lot is, you know, we pressed over 251,000 gallons of biosolids, which continues to grow monthly, which our community is growing. I'm going to jump straight into the manager's report. We don't have to decide this tonight, but we'll need to know soon. We'll need a new member to attend the LCATS meetings, and that can come from council or staff. I need to know if anybody's interested in that or where, but we do need to appoint that person in the very near future. I can go to the next meeting because we have voting rights in there and we need to stay in contact with that group. I also want to let you know that the officer interviews are underway. I think the last interview is Thursday. Is that correct, Chief? So we have 3 positions open. We are interviewing officers for those positions. So that's underway. I already mentioned the wellfield withdrawal study. That's going to go on this month. We also had a group out looking at the land that the water plant owes for placement of different processes and how it's going to fit on the property as the new plant goes into design. We're getting very close to getting into that. With the 2 new wells that we're talking about, 1 for sure and possibly 2, we have to have a renewed wellhead protection plan. The EPA is going to require that. That's about a $16,000 cost that we will have to incur by the end of the year. I am reasonably sure we have that in the water funds that we can take care of that, but it is something we will have to do before the new wells can be drilled. Jumping back to the wastewater department, the stream study is wrapping up, thank goodness. Now, once we get the conclusions and results from the stream study, design can start on the wastewater treatment facility. And last item, we brought this up in finance, but I will be meeting with the water, sewer, and street department heads to go over their budgeting that needs to be turned in to the Finance Committee on the 9th. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Questions for Jack?
When do you expect, about what timeline, to have the new water plant online?
Well, we're going with this CMAR system, which is Construction Management at Risk, is what it is. So this allows us, once we get to approximately 60 to 70% design and we know certain pieces of equipment will be in the project regardless, due to timelines, we can go ahead and order before we get to 100%. So the Claricone itself, we know that'll be coming. So we can order that ahead. So where we believe is summer to fall of '24, we hope the water line is online and pumping by using this CMAR system. If we don't, and we can't order equipment and processes until final design is done, we were looking at spring to summer of '25. So that's why we went the route with the Construction Management at Risk. And basically, all of our stuff will still be bid, but we do have a contractor, the CMAR, who will guarantee a price for construction. And once we get to that 60% design, I will be bringing that to council.
And how many gallons? Would that be 2 million gallons?
This is a 2 million gallon facility we're looking at. We can already get that out of the well field. The well field study to see is what is our safe yield beyond that 2 million gallons.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Jack? Thank you. Okay, next up is legislation. First up is ordinance 16-2022, ordinance approving the editing and inclusion of certain ordinances as parts of the various component codes of the codified ordinances of Johnstown, Ohio, and declaring an emergency. Teresa, you want to take this one?
Sure. The city works every year with a company called Walter Drain, and they prepare our ordinances for codification. This would be everything for the previous year. And they have them ready, and they always ask for an emergency so that they can be updated online as soon as possible.
Basically, you're publishing the ordinances. So I need a motion.
I would ask for, if you're okay with the emergency, I would ask for a motion to waive the second reading first.
Right, so we have to do that first.
Can I ask her a question?
Yeah.
Does this count the one that we've been working on changing with Louis?
No. So the first version is what's included here.
Okay.
Their advice on how to go forward with that is to go ahead and get this passed. And we can send them the amended version. And they'll do one simple new one.
Will that be that?
Not a whole new.
Will that be an additional cost, or?
It may be, but it would be very minor.
Okay.
I didn't ask. She didn't say.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Any other questions from Teresa or Teresa? Okay, so we have to have a motion to waive the second reading.
I so move.
Okay, it's been moved. Is there a second?
I second.
Sharon seconded. In discussion. If not, call the roll for the waiving of the second reading.
Marvin Block.
Yes.
Mayor Dutcher.
Yes.
Mark Blainer.
Yes.
Sharon Hendren.
Yes.
John Barnard.
Yes.
Ron Merriman.
Yes.
Ryan Green.
Yes.
Okay, now that we've waived the second reading, we have to have my favorite thing, a public hearing. So we'll open it up for comments from the public. Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing. And I'll entertain a motion to approve the ordinance.
Make the motion.
It's an ordinance to publish our past.
This is to publish the past ordinances of the city of Johnstown.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? If not, Teresa, want to call the roll?
Mayor Dutcher.
Yes.
Doug Lehner.
Yes.
Sharon Hendren.
Yes.
John Barnard.
Yes.
John Merriman.
Yes.
Brian Green.
Yes.
Marvin Block.
Yes.
And I guess I should have said earlier, we do that once a year.
As required by the state of Ohio.
Next up is Resolution 2022-31, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with the Licking County Board of Commissioners. Jack, you want to
Yeah, I can
take
take
this
that.
one?
Basically, we applied for ARP funds here in the back and to the tune of $450,000. We did get those
This
funds.
American Rescue Plan
American
funds
Rescue
that the
Plan.
commissioners got.
And these funds had to be used for water or sewer improvement. So down in the Rolling Meadows area, we are doing a bunch of sewer rehab, lining and manhole rehab to prevent rainwater from getting into the sanitary sewer. So it will lessen the amount of flooding and backup on the sewers. So this allows the manager to go into agreement for that. And basically, 2022-32 is along the same lines. It's the same, not exactly the same, obviously, but the commissioners wanted to know that the council was good with the manager signing the contract. So that is what 22-31 and 22-32 is about.
So anyhow, we've applied, these are federal funds from the American Rescue Plan that the county got, which we are applying for, and which we are under, the understanding with the commissioners is they will be granting us the, let's see, $450,000. And then this goes with money that we're also putting up, that we have been putting up every year, $100,000 to improve the sewer lines in Rolling Meadows. So, I need a motion to approve Resolution 2022-31.
I'll make the motion.
Ryan's moved, is there a second?
I'll second.
Doug has seconded, and we have to have a public hearing, so I'll open a public hearing. Are there comments from the public?
Is that all of Rolling Meadows or just certain streets?
Just certain streets were applied for because that was the cost. 450,000 was, we did as many streets as we could.
Do you have a list of those streets by chance, Jack? or-
Not on me, but I can get them, yes.
Yeah.
And is there any plans for the rest of the streets to be done?
Well, every year, this council so far has allotted $100,000 worth of repairs to be done. Now, they don't always happen in Rolling Meadows. We try to target the worst sections in the worst condition. But when this American Rescue Plan money came available, we highlighted those areas in Rolling Meadows where we had a lot of plugs and backups, so we can try to eliminate that.
Currently, there's no list that kind of rank orders what streets throughout the city are priority of.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Anybody else? Hearing none?
If there is a list that we could get them published on the city's website, so that, if you have it, so that we kind of know, hey, when money's available, we know it's coming. If it's not,
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
And this commissioner funds from the the American Rescue Plan, this is a one-time deal with the commissioners. So we'll be back to our basic $100,000 from the city of Johnstown going forward. So I'm going to close the public hearing. Any further discussion? If not, Teresa, you want to call the roll?
Doug Lehner.
Yes.
Sharon Hendren.
Yes.
John Barnard.
Yes.
John Merriman.
Yes.
Brian Green.
Yes.
Marvin Block.
Yes.
Mayor Dutcher.
Yes. Okay. Resolution is agreed to. Resolution 2022-32, Resolution to award a construction contract for the City of Johnstown Rolling Meadows Sanitary Sewer Rehab Project. So we need need a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, it's been moved. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Doug seconded. I'm going to open up, just like we did before, open a public hearing for this. This is the awarding of the contract. We'll open it to public. The sanitary sewer rehab project in Rolling Meadows, what we just discussed. Okay, so open the public hearing. We'll close the public hearing. Discussion? Hearing none. Teresa, you want to call the roll?
Ryan Green.
Yes.
I totally stirred it up. Whatever. Marvin Block.
Yes.
Mayor Dutcher.
Yes.
Doug Lana.
Yes.
Karen Hendricks.
Yes.
John Barnard.
Yes.
John Merriman.
Yes.
Okay. Next up is ordinance 17-2022. This is just for introduction purposes. And it's an ordinance adopting a wage and salary structures for the city of Johnstown, which goes through our entire, every position and lays out a minimum and maximum and the hourly rates for all of those people. Tonight is only the first reading, and so it'll be back on the 20th. So it's been introduced, and that's where we are.
Can we ask questions on it?
Sure.
With it being the wage and salary structure, shouldn't this have went through finance? And the first time I heard about it was the other night when it came through, so that's,
This is more of a structure. We were moving the mayor's clerk out from under the police department, which has been corrected. It's into its own area. And then it's positioning your service director's position there. And when we talk about but village staffing, which we're going to talk about in the next couple weeks, there may be more slots fitted in here. If you decide, you want a full-time assistant manager, do you want a finance director, do you want a full-time zoning inspector? There may be additional slots in here. So this isn't so much changing an hourly for anybody, because that'll have to be decided when we do the finance. This is basically moving slots and what departments they're going to be under.
And tonight was just for introduction.
And tonight is just an introduction. There's no vote this evening.
So you'll have another opportunity to discuss and ask questions. Good. Donna, you okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. And we have other business.
One other item of business.
One item, always the most important, setting the date for trick or treat night. We have been going by what the MORPC recommendation has been, which this year is for Monday, the actual Halloween, and have trick or treat on Halloween for a change. It'd be Monday the 31st. So, does somebody want to make a motion that we have our trick or treat night on Monday the 31st?
I'll make that motion.
Would you like to include the time? If it-
Sure. What
Yeah.
time do you want to have?
5, start at 5?
5 to 7:30 or whatever?
We usually do it a little later.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
done 5:30 to 7, we've done 6 to 7:30, we've done it kind of.
I mean, 6:30 is probably the earliest
Yeah.
people driving to Columbus and stuff like that.
Whatever you want to.
What do we usually do?
Try to get done.
You
at
got time
dusk,
change,
though.
yeah.
I think we've been starting at 5:30 and being done by
7:30.
7 or 7.
5:30 sounds good.
I'd say
6:30.
Yeah. 6:30 to 8.
Yeah, when I walk.
I do, yes. Mine's 4, so I'm excited.
Lights are usually
What's
out.
that?
Yeah.
6:30 to 8.
Giving everybody-
No, it's
well, there's 3 of us up here who have very young children who trick or
Yes.
treat. The 5:30 time frame is very hard, and I think personally, parents are rushing home, there's more of a chance for accidents with little kids, with parents trying to get home to get their kids out by 5:30 because kids want to be out there as first thing. I personally think 6:30 to 8.
Yeah, I have no problem
6:30
with
to
that.
8.
In the
That's what
past,
I
they
said.
moved it up because it was lighter.
I don't have a problem, and I'd want to hear from our police too.
I mean, in the past, it's always been 6:30 to 8 o'clock.
Okay.
That's
I'd love
fine.
to
Let's do
a
it.
half hour earlier, just because of somebody bringing up the,
That works.
the nighttime hours, but, 6
Alright.
to 7:30 or 6:30 to 8?
Let's do 6:30.
6:30 to 8.
6:30 to 8.
6:30 to 8,
Okay.
and on the 31st of October.
Cool. So I made the motion.
31st.
We have a
We have a
second.
motion. Is
Or
there
we
a
have
second?
Public comment?
I'll second.
No public comment.
Who's the second, sorry? Oh,
John,
okay.
you want to call a roll, Teresa?
John Barnard,
Yes.
John Merriman.
Yes.
Ryan Green.
Yes.
Marvin Block,
Yes.
Fred Dutcher,
Yes.
Doug Lehner.
Yes.
Darren Hendren.
Yes.
Okay. Other business?
I've got one thing.
Okay.
In the last finance committee meeting 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, we were reviewing the contracts. One of the ones we were looking at was training marbles. In reviewing the contract for that, we noted that there was an agreement signed, our date presented was January 10th, that Jack signed and they signed for a human resources assessment. When we contacted them about this, they didn't remember this at all, but we've paid them the fee for it, for $6,500. So we need to find out if, I'm thinking they probably did it and just don't remember, but we do have the contract, we did pay them, so we need to
Okay.
either get our money back or get the assessment. That's all I have.
Okay. Any other business?
Yeah.
Marvin?
I would like to ask council if they would consider, at their next meeting, forming a committee with the other residents, have them put 7 people on their committee to work with council to start the healing process for Johnstown.
What do you suggest it, how do you suggest it to work?
My suggestion, Donnie, is that they appoint 7 people to work with the council, 7 people. I have no other recommendations other than I would like to see, work with them and see what they expect and what they would like to see and get things worked out. If it's possible.
I think it's a good idea.
You want me to put it in the form of a motion, or you want to do it at the next meeting?
I think they could do it at the next meeting.
Do it at the next meeting then.
You make sure you have that noted, Teresa, that we need to talk about that in the next meeting, please.
And we need to lay out the roles, everything like that.
Any other items, new business?
You want a special meeting? Are we doing a work session?
Oh, yes.
So we're gonna do a work session. That's what?
The 12th or 13th,
That
or
would be
13th or
the
14th.
13th or 14th, yes.
What days are those?
So that's a Tuesday and Wednesday.
The 13th.
So if we do a work session on the 13th or 14th.
Either, is that a Tuesday, Wednesday?
It's a Tuesday or Wednesday. What can everybody do?
13th.
Just tell me.
13th?
Tuesday's not gonna work.
Tuesday will not
Review board
work,
and
yes.
planning and zoning are that night.
Right.
Wednesday.
So the 14th. Everybody good with that?
Mhm.
Is there any,
Teresa has a prior engagement, so you're gonna be stuck with me trying to run stuff.
that's fine.
Can you give them a tape recorder?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
That's fine.
You've been warned.
We'll put it on YouTube.
That may or may not. See what I can do.
Do you have anything set up?
Okay. Anything else?
Do we have to vote on that at all, or?
What time?
Yeah.
What time you want to have?
So 6:30 is usually, is that good with everybody? Or do you want to do it earlier?
5:30.
5:30?
5:30.
It doesn't matter to me,
Turn you
so
off, Doug.
whatever you guys want to do, I just want to have it.
You guys just tell me and I'll make it work.
5:30.
5:30. Yep.
I'm off all month.
Okay.
Go with that?
Yeah.
So you're calling a special council meeting for 9:14.
You want, well, whatever we call it, work session or
Work
special
session.
council.
Well, same.
Yeah.
If you're all gonna be there,
5:30, yeah.
it's a meeting.
It's a meeting.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
everyone was there, it's a meeting.
Whatever you want to call it. Yep.
5:30 PM. Got it.
You want to call a roll? You want,
Oh,
are we going to take a
voting
vote?
on it, or
Want
just
to take a vote?
calling it?
If we need a vote, we'll vote on it. Okay.
We don't need it.
No, you can just call it.
Okay.
Have we made any progress with the school board liaison meeting?
I sent out an email twice, I have not gotten any response. so. I know, we were supposed to send along some dates that might work. I've seen those.
Okay. Any other business? If not, we're going to have to do, I guess, Teresa, do I need a motion?
To enter executive session,
Yeah.
yes, I need a motion and a second with the reasons stated.
Okay. Does somebody want to do the motion? Or I'll do it. Move it, I make a motion, we move to executive session and consider the appointment, employment, and compensation of a public employee.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded.
John Merriman,
No.
Brian Green,
No.
Marvin Block,
Yes.
Mayor Dutcher,
Yes.
Doug Weiner,
Yes.
Karen Hendren.
Yes.
Tom Barnard.
No.
Motion to enter passes 4-3, so. We'll be going
There will
to
be,
executive session.
we're going to move to executive session. There'll be no other business taken up tonight, other than we will come out of executive session and immediately adjourn.
Can you tell me who you would like in the
Just Jack,
members, all members of council?
council and Jack. And we're going to stay here, and we'll bid you all good night, and thank you for coming.
Should I go pee?
Want me in the executive session?